Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Chekhov's Trash Compactor Hofmeyer.
And I am J. Carcarinus Lucas Cluett. And this is Deep... I didn't even practice saying it. And this is Deep Blue Sea 3, Chapter 2. On this show, we're going to talk about what happens in Deep Blue Sea 3, Chapter 2. What happens in Deep Blue Sea 3, Chapter 2? Well, let me tell you. We meet the remaining inhabitants of Little Happy, the infamous two people still living there, Fisherman Bahari and his sister/chef, Nandi. She wants to leave, but he is reluctant as it's the only life they've known. Later, Bahari and Nandi host Dr. Emma Collins and her team for dinner, where Bahari berates Spin for not eating fish, and Mia pours shots for everyone whilst the three bull sharks swim around the harbour. The next day, Emma and the team see the ship Thassos approaching, and she greets Richard, an old flame of hers from grad school, before introducing him and Lucas to the team and their setup. Lucas explains they're looking for three bull sharks who killed a half-dozen people up the river, but looking at the Triton, they see no sign of bull sharks in the nursery. Richard invites Emma onto the Thassos for a tour and shows her the lab, where she sees Bella's brain and tracker, whilst they reminisce on him leaving her after her dad died. As they look away, a shark swims past the window. That's what happens in Deep Blue Sea 3 Chapter 2. So we need someone to help us talk about this. Mark, who's joining us this week?
Oh, so we have a returning guest, someone who's been here for the Deep Blue Sea series, the Deep Blue Sea 2 series, and now Deep Blue Sea 3. It's the wonderful, the magnificent Megan Hofmeyer.
I'm excited about it. This is my favorite one, so.
I was talking about that last week, about how you said that you like all of them, but this one has Dr. Emma Collins in it, and she's cool.
She's great, and her crew, everybody's really likable. I think that's one of the notes I wrote down for this chapter. Everyone is likable.
They are. Spin and Maya, when they're talking about Richard and Dr. Emma Collins, or Dr. Richard Lowell and Dr. Emma Collins, like, were they together or were they together? And then they're like, together.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have really good chemistry.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Megan, too, what a really excellent moment. We were watching this, and when we first saw Bren Foster, who plays Lucas, you looked at me and you're like, that's Scott Adkins' cousin.
Oh, yeah. I figured he could do some good kicks or maybe some moves. And he can, right?
He did.
Have you seen the whole film, Megan?
Oh, yes. I mean, in his career outside of that.
I mean, yeah, he's a big kicker, and he's trying to get Scott.
He's
trying to get Scott Adkins into a movie.
That would be amazing.
And I pitched director John Pogue, Deep Blue Sea 4 should be Adkins playing Lucas's brother, hunting down Dr. Emma Collins, but then they're stopped by Trader Slent and Dr. Misty Calhoun.
I can see it. We need it.
Imagine that movie. It's like Furious 7, but with Scott Adkins as the villain. He has sharks that he can...
So he's Statham.
Yes, he's Statham, and he has sharks that he can control. And then you add in Dr. Emma Collins, bring back Carter Blake, bring back Preacher, bring back Preacher, Trader Slent, no, wait, Trent Slater, bring back...
He needs to ride the sharks like Trish in Barb and Star.
Whoa, like they rode the turtles?
Mm-hmm.
It would be a real flapper.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar?
Not yet. I really want to, but it's not readily available here yet.
It is so weird.
We watched it without knowing anything about it. We just knew, so we're big MMA fans, and I like a fighter called Joseph Benavidez, and he's married to Megan O'Leary, and she's an announcer for the UFC.
Host announcer.
And on Instagram, they went on a tirade
about how upset they were that it wasn't nominated for any awards for the original song or the effects, or it's just all so ridiculous, but it's hilarious.
And it took up about 4 stories worth of them complaining about it. So, okay, we got David Cross, who was on the show before on Deep Blue Sea of the Award Winners Movie Review podcast. He's like, you got to watch it. So don't watch any trailers, because it's one of the weirdest, most beautiful movies. And there's a jet ski in it, which we've talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's glorious jet ski scene.
No, I want to see it. I'm on board for seeing it. I don't need it to be sold to me anymore. I just need it to be streaming for free somewhere.
Well, if you're listening, watch it. Don't watch any trailers.
Well, I think
no trailers.
The first ones were just like they were like teasers that gave away nothing. So I've seen those where it's just like Barb and Star talking, and you just have like shots of their hair and stuff.
Oh, the wigs.
Yeah.
They had very complicated relationships.
So you could probably get away with watching Edgar's Prayer, the music video, because I think that would be a good test of whether or not you're going to be okay with the humor in this movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's like the pinnacle weirdness.
Is it kind of like the humor in Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping, or the other one that I really enjoyed? I can't remember. It's also Andy's Hot Rod. Is it that similar level of humor? Or
no,
Okay.
Because she said she wanted it to be Airplane meets.
Oh, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
That's what it is. Airplane meets Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. So.
They're fully invested and quite earnest in their delivery, so they're not winking at the camera at all. They're not being over the top for show.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jay, but I don't know. It's not hot roddy to me.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. It's just a genuine question. So,
and there's a jet ski and turtles.
Okay, I'm gonna see it, Mark. I'm just.
Oh no, I know you are. I guess. Oh yeah.
Seagulls.
I guess I'm just telling everyone who's listening, Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
This is our platform to get Barb and Star out to the world.
We are not liars.
Oh, jeez.
We want people to watch it.
So Deep Blue Sea 3.
Okay. What was Dr. Emma Collins listening to when she went to Chekhov's Trash Compactor?
Because every time I notice, those are some really fancy headphones. Mm-hmm. She's probably listening to edits of the Water blog.
I assume she's listening to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast.
Oh.
She's listening to this very episode where we're talking about what she's listening to.
Oh,
so meta.
That'd be amazing. I just wish that we could hear the slight beat of Deepest Bluest when she's walking by.
That'd be great.
Or what's the song from the second one, like, in the deep blue sea?
Yeah. She wouldn't listen to that. She's not. No.
So you think she's listening to herself on Waterblog?
Yeah, maybe she's going over episodes.
She does. Maybe she just is checking whether Spin can do good editing or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't. That's interesting. I was thinking music, like Ace of Base.
Sure, I guess.
Right? Why not?
What's she listening to? Jay, what do you think? What do you think she's listening to? She
doesn't have any kind of a dance to her walk as she's moving. She's just kind of striding quite purposefully.
She's not bopping.
No, she's not bopping. So I don't think it is music. My guess, I mean, I'm always listening to podcasts when I'm out and about, so maybe a shark-related podcast, maybe Finflix, I don't know.
Maybe some self-help things, how to get over the death of your father, being a leader, dealing with others.
Dealing with interns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
NPR series.
Coping with older uncle figures who want to tell you what to do.
Well, she's listening to Duolingo. She's trying to learn Japanese.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's it. Because
I love Duolingo.
You're on how long of a German spree are you on?
About 470 days.
Nice.
470.
So, okay. So she's not bopping. You wrecked that for me, Jay. I was going to say...
I stand by my water blog.
I was going to say Deep Blue. I was going to say, like, Taking Back Sunday, but...
Oh, no. You'd have to be moving a little bit faster than that.
Okay. So we're down to two things. Duolingo, Japanese, or water blog. What do you think? Add more if you want.
No. I think it is Waterblog. I think she's checking Spin's edits. Because she seems to me to be someone who is working as much as possible. She's trying to be efficient. She has some downtime in this episode with the party with everyone, which is that's dinner. But whenever she's like not doing that kind of thing, she's doing something productive. So I feel like that's the time where she's listening to the edit just to check up on Spin.
So Spin is a genius from MIT, and he's editing the podcast.
Yes. Well, somebody has to.
Right.
Yeah. Now, isn't that a Maya job?
Coming from two podcast editors.
Yeah.
With advanced degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Mia could do it, but maybe Spin strikes me as somebody who has a podcast.
Whoa, what's Spin's podcast?
That's a good question. What film series would he break down chapter by chapter?
Oh, man. Okay, so he's really chill.
Yeah, definitely not anything work-focused.
He's not afraid to give his emotions or share, because he says, like, you're so sexy to Maya when she's pouring the drinks. So he's very open. He's kind of cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
Highbrow, lowbrow. Comedy, right? Would you say comedy?
A funny food commentary thing. Dishes on the island.
Have to be paleo-vegan based, because he's paleo-vegan, he's vegan.
Cooking with the spinster, like binging with Babish, but cooking with the spinster.
Salad spinning.
Oh, that's it.
There we go.
That's it.
In the kitchen with Spin.
Salad spinning? That's a good, all right, there it is. And
there
then he
it
just
is.
talks about vegetables in film.
Yep.
Salad scenes in movies.
Yep. Sausage party.
Interesting. Yeah.
I really like how their whole dynamic, they feel very natural together. Everybody, not just the couples, or the formal couples, or the coupled relatives. But everyone just feels very natural together. They feel like they have nice working relationships. It's not awkward or stiff. I don't know the background of the film and how much time they got to get to know each other, but they really clicked, this group of people.
Yeah.
Do they pay Bahari and Nandi for their work? Like, do they do the cleaning and washing? Like, did they pay for the fish? So, do they hire their services?
I feel like, I don't know how else Bahari and Nandi would make any money if they weren't being paid by Emma and the rest of the team, just because their trade, as they're saying at the start, was they would sell food to the restaurants. I don't know what else they do. Maybe they have a business on the side, I don't know what it is. But I would hope that they are paid for their services of cooking.
Yeah. I think they are. You were looking at their setup, Megan. You said this is really expensive. The servers that they have there.
Well, they have quite a lot of canned items and jams, too, so maybe they're selling some of those jams in the background.
We're all about those pickles.
Love me jams and marmalades.
Just give me jars, and I'm happy. Pay me in pickled things.
There you go.
That would be my podcast.
Maybe when the supply boat comes, they then send some of the things they've made out to the local markets.
In a pickle.
If we ever set up a Patreon for this podcast, I'm going to insist that it's not pickle related. That it's actually money. You may use that money to buy pickled things, but I don't want them. No, thank you.
You gotta get into making your own pickles. It's delightful. So much more variety.
Pickled herring. I'm Swedish. That's what we do. No, but you're right. I do like the dynamic here. I like the pickling. And also, I think the production design in this is really good.
The kitchen is amazing.
Oh, yeah. What a good kitchen.
Well, and there's just so much richness. The design is very full. It doesn't look sparse at all. In Bahari and Nandi's home, there's lots of things on the walls and tons of things on the shelves. They've got a very sort of patterned floor, and they make sure to show you how wet it is because sinking and whatnot. But there's a lot of things everywhere. The church, I was always really impressed by the church they camp out in for the lab. Because it's got the cool windows and it's got the sort of weathered wood walls and then all of their very expensive tech gear in it.
Yeah. And then also, I really liked I just like the random fish tanks in Dr. Richard Lowell's.
Oh, yeah, in the lab. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a weird shot where I wasn't sure if one of them was kind of cloudy and maybe poorly done, but I think it's just the wall behind it is not a very flattering look through the fish tank because at the other side it looks really clear.
Oh. And if you hear a cat, we have a cat on top of our desk right now, Stella. So if you hear a meow, it's time for her to eat. So you're going to hear a lot of hungry cat.
It's time for DINNER, and she's letting us know.
Now, the one issue you did notice was the pitcher of water. I get it. Like, you probably don't want to bottle it, but he does have a very convenient pitcher of water.
On a boat.
Yeah.
In a science lab where there's obviously preserved dead baby animals, why would you have an open pitcher of water with chemicals and of shark brain on a slab?
But also on a ship, which notoriously do not stay flat when they're in motion.
Well, yeah. That's what I said to Mark. I was like, you don't see that outside of, I don't know, a restaurant usually. I mean, no, you don't. We're in a home and we don't keep pitchers of water sitting around.
Mm-hmm. Unless there's a leak in our roof.
Yeah.
Well, that's never happened. But
no.
If it did.
At least one of the